and welcome to this week's video. Now in this week's video I'm going to be reviewing this guitar, a 1959 reissue Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul, and I'm going to show you some live examples. Some examples of it played solo through a clean amp. And without further ado, this track that I've written and recorded here in my studio. Now I got this guitar just over a week ago. Now I think hopefully this is the end of my midlife crisis, because I've now bought the two guitars that I never owned that were played by my heroes of my teenage years. One of them being that one, which I got not that long ago, the Eddie Van Halen Frankie guitar, and this one, which is very much like the guitar that Paul Kossoff played, who was another one of my big heroes. Now I've never been a Gibson player. I've always played Fender style guitars, Strats and Tellys, but I bought this one. I've done a review on that as well. I got that one during lockdown, my 335, and I did struggle to begin with the humbuckers and stuff and different scale lengths, but that's become almost a go-to now on certain gigs. And then I don't know why, I just decided I had a bit of a hankering for one of these. I've never had one, never played one. Literally not played one. So what happened was I had to drop my kids off somewhere very near a music shop, and I popped in and they had about 6 Custom Shop Les Pauls hanging on the wall. Some of them very expensive, sort of heavy relics, Murphy Lab ones going up to £10,000. And I tried one of them and it just got me. It was really nice. I only plugged into like a Boss amp or something, but it was, yeah, it was nice and light, and it was resonant. It wasn't like I was expecting a Les Paul to be at all, which I know they can be quite heavy, but I got bitten by the bug, so I had to drop them off again a couple of days later, and I went back into the shop and I thought, well, I better try all of them. And I tried all of them, and of course the one that I liked the most was the lightest one, which was the £10,000 one. But I didn't buy it. Part of the reason was, for a start, they plugged me into a transistor amp, and I had to have a bit of an argument to say, it is a transistor amp. No, it's not, it's a valve amp. I said, look, it says Tone Master on it. It was a Princeton or something. Tone Master. I could tell it wasn't valve after one note. And the other thing was, it had rusty strings, and I was told it was because they were by the sea. Well, I live by the sea, and none of my guitars have got rusty strings. Anyway, so I got this one from Guitar Village, which is in Farnham, which is just to the west of London, or southwest of London. And they've got a very nice selection of them. They had quite a lot of different, they had a load of 58s, 59s and some 60s. And I tried most of the 59s and a couple of the other ones, and I thought I was going to like the lightest one because I like light guitars generally, but actually this was one of the slightly heavier ones. They're all fairly light. This is about £8.5, but there was something about this one, and I went with Roger, who I've mentioned lots of times before, who taught me guitar, and he came with me, and he thought this was the best one. This was also the nicest looking one, I thought. It's a nicest figuring on it. And I'm not going to go through the specs on these because you can look online, but this is, I think they call it an R9. It's a 1959 reissue. Now, what is interesting, I didn't know, and I found out when I was looking into these, is they do all the different finishes. This one is called Dirty Lemon, I think. But of course, in 1959, I think they only brought out about 600 Les Pauls, and they were all finished the same. You couldn't buy different finishes back then. And the different finishes they produce now on the reissues is because they all reacted differently in light. So some of them got more red, so they do the sort of red burst ones, and some of them the sunburst faded completely, and that's more like what this one is designed to be. And it reminded me a bit of Paul Kossoff's one because he was very pale like this. So I haven't done anything to it since I got it back. I haven't changed the action or anything. It's much lower action than I've got on most of my other guitars, but I've got so used to playing it, I'm not sure I'm going to put it up. I think it's got 10s on it, but it's so easy to play in it, but it doesn't buzz or anything. It's very low, and I'm very, very pleased with it. So I'm going to show you some sound samples here. Now, this first clip I'm going to show you, this was the first, well, so far, only gig I've done on this guitar. And the first clip I'm going to show you is in a solo on a song called Valerie, which I'm sure you know, which I do this one every week. And so this is the very first guitar solo I played live on this guitar. Like everything, it takes a bit of getting used to. I've got all the different gains and stuff on all my pedals and on the amp that I have to kind of adjust for the different guitars. So it took a little while, and I think I left the wah-wah pedal on for the beginning of this. But I want to show you this because this was the first ever solo. Then another couple of songs later, I've got the sound a bit more together. This is another solo on Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Stevie Wonder.
Oh yeah, so boy, hit it.
And this song is Pumped Up Kicks. I was quite pleased with the solo on this. I think this might have been, it was either later in the first set or the second set, and I really started to get the sound together on this. So I'm going to show you this one just to show you the progress. Now I'm going to show you some sound clips of it plugged into my Milkman pedal steel mini, so it's a completely clean sound. I've got my Sennheiser 609 casually dangled over it. I've put some kind of room sound on this recording so you can hear it, so it doesn't sound like a completely dry sound, but I haven't really done anything else other than that, so you can really hear. And I'll start off on the front pickup, move to both, and then the bridge pickup. So see what you think of this. So there we are. I hope that was useful. I hope that's given you a good idea of what this guitar sounds like. It really is nice. It's beautifully made. I can't find any faults on the in the construction of it, but I suppose you wouldn't do because these are rather expensive. I'm not going to tell you how much it was in case my mum's watching. But needless to say, I think it cost more than my car. I need to sell some other ones, partly why I did that review of the Tyler last week. I think I need to sell that one to pay for this one. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the review. Please hit like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the guitar. I bring out new videos at 7 PM on a Friday UK time every week, reviews, some gig diaries, all kinds of things. So please hit subscribe and hit the bell, then you'll know when I'm bringing out a new video. And I'll hopefully see you next week, and I'm going to leave you with a track again.